This video is here to deliver some good news. There are only 5 fundamentals of riding for you to master, and I'm going to share them with you today. There's no gimmicks here, whether you're a MotoGP champion or a weekend adventure camper. These are the 5 building blocks that every rider needs to work on for safer and faster riding. As I said in the beginning, we've only got 5 fundamentals that we need to work on. Besides these 5 things, there's nothing else. Now, you might think that surely there must be more. What is it that the pros are doing? Isn't there a next level that I need to unlock? The short answer is no. Every rider, whether you're an elite racer, TikTok video star, or casual rider looking to be safer in the canyons, must focus on these 5 basics of motorcycling if you're to improve on your riding performance. The difference, really the only difference, is in timing and degree of application. Everything I'll discuss with you today is exactly what the pros work on. They're just much more extreme in how they apply these fundamentals. Now, just to be clear, today we're talking about riding on the road and on the asphalt track. Off-road riders still must deal with these 5 fundamentals. However, the challenges they face and the techniques they use are typically much different. Regardless of your motorcycle, whether it's a sport bike, cafe racer, cruiser, or adventure bike, the skills I'll share with you will help you improve your riding. Also, this isn't a traffic safety video, as that's a whole other topic of discussion. You'll notice that there's a link to another related YouTube video up above. This video is intended as more of an overview than the last word on individual topics. Throughout this guide, I'll post links to other videos that I've created for a deeper dive into that particular topic. Now, you may be saying, I've ridden for years. I don't need to worry about any of these fundamentals. To that, I'll respond with 2 answers. First, even if you don't fully realize what or why you're riding the way you do, the fundamentals of riding apply, like it or not. Second, if you're just taking it easy, you can ride however you want. You can ride backwards with the worst technique in the world, and it won't matter if you're going slow enough. It's only once we begin to focus on performance, increased speed and safety, that our technique in applying these fundamentals really begins to matter. The faster you go, the more the basics apply. So, with all of that out of the way, let's dive into our 5 fundamentals. Oh wait, I did mention 5.5. I'll dig into that last one too. It's not forgotten. Fundamental 1, line through the corner. The first thing that every rider needs to focus on is their line through the corner. Everything you do is dependent on that path you'll take through the curving roadway. If you nail that, everything becomes easier. If you're off, life becomes harder, sometimes much harder. Virtually every solo motorcycle crash video that I've seen, and I've watched hundreds, is the result of the rider taking a poor line through the corner and then overcompensating to correct for it. Your line through the corner starts with how you enter the corner, then accurately hitting your apex, and then exiting the corner with the most speed. Even the most expensive bike mods, from new exhaust to upgraded suspension, won't help you hit your corner apex if your lines are off. If you want to ride faster, work on your lines first. Line is so important that when experienced racers first take to a track, their line through the corner is the #1 thing they'll work on. Once they get that down, then they can go on to work on everything else to help them get through the racetrack more quickly. Line especially matters to those of us riding on the street. Safety is more important than speed, and it's the line that you pick that helps you ensure that you'll make it home at the end of the day. If you're running over the double yellow line at corner exit, excess speed alone isn't the issue. First fix your line and everything else will fall into place. Fundamental 2, vision. Where we look is where we'll go. I like to think of our vision as the guidance system for our motorcycles. If we want to increase our speed through the corners, it's critical that we first work on how, where, and when we look through the turn. If we're focused in the right spot at the wrong time, we're not going to get the performance we hope for. Not only do we need to direct our eyes properly, but we need to point our head and even our chin in the direction we wish to go. Eyes, head, and even upper body all must work together if we're to master a corner. Vision isn't as simple as looking through the corner. It's a full body exercise if practiced correctly. Target fixation is a common problem with newer riders. Too often, even experienced riders will only look with their eyes and not point their heads enough to completely guide themselves through the corner. Once you practice committing with your eyes and head to the corner turn-in, apex, and exit, target fixation becomes a thing of the past. Instead, you'll find it easier to lean your bike in and safely take the corner at higher speeds. Fundamental 3, motor controls. Now we get to the fun stuff. With motor controls, we're looking at getting on the throttle to speed up and downshifting to slow down. We cut throttle and downshift at corner entry and twist the throttle and shift up at corner exit. That's when we begin to fly. The key to everything we discuss from here on out is to be smooth. No grabbing and twisting. As we exit a corner, we smoothly twist the throttle as we stand the bike up. Too much throttle too quickly when the bike is leaned over will lead to a nasty crash, and we don't want that. As our speed increases, we quickly shift up so that we can maintain our acceleration. Going into a corner, things are much different. Here we use downshifting to control the bike. Once we let go of the throttle, we bang our way down through the gears to use engine compression to help us slow down. For most corners, I never use the brakes. Simply downshifting provides enough engine braking to safely navigate a corner. Fundamental number 4, braking. In order for us to ride fast, we have to be able to slow down faster still. Here's something to keep in mind. Your bike doesn't like surprises. Surprise the bike by hitting the brakes too hard, too fast, and your bike will return the surprise by sending you right over the handlebars. Racers brake incredibly hard and incredibly fast. The secret, however, is that they're also so smooth and predictable. They start slow with the brakes, but then quickly ramp up that braking force to guide the bike into a corner. No matter how late and how extreme they might brake, racers always give their front tire and front fork a chance to prepare for the hard braking force that's about to be applied. Again, no surprises here. Though I mostly use my front brake since it supplies most of my stopping power, I'll use my rear brake too, depending on the bike that I'm riding. The key to quickly stopping, however, is to master the front brake. Smoothness is always the key. Fundamental 5, body position. Most sport bike riders just want to skip the first 4 fundamentals and head straight to number 5, body position on the bike. Who doesn't want to lean off the bike like their MotoGP's Jorge Martin? There's so much more to this topic, however, that it's difficult to know where to start. Everything from how you place your feet on the pegs, to how you hold the handlebars, to dragging your knees through the corners, all falls within the discussion of body position. Suffice it to say that proper body position will help you lean the bike through the corner and safely carry more speed. Leather-clad sport bike riders might adopt the most extreme body position, especially when on the track, but even less aggressive touring riders can put their bodies to work. Properly using the balls of your feet on the pegs, relaxing your grip on the bars, and using your upper body to guide you through a corner can help you regardless of bike or riding style. The bottom line is that even casual riders can put body position to work for them even without adopting the extreme sport bike look of hanging off the bike and dragging knee. Fundamental 5.5, bar inputs. Finally, we've made it to number 5 and 1/2. And that last one is bar inputs, aka steering the bike. The thing with bar inputs is that it's not the sort of thing you need to practice to improve on. Either you're turning or you're not. I often hear experienced riders instruct novices to counter steer more. Really, that's pointless advice because turning the bike more when your line is off and your vision, throttle control, braking, and body position are all messed up just means you're going to crash. When you work on all of the other fundamentals, applying bar inputs comes naturally. So that's it for the 5.5 fundamentals. As I've mentioned, even the most experienced pros are working on those basics. Races are won and lost on simple things like braking and line selection. Actively pointing your head and using your vision through the corner will help you on the street, the track, or even in the dirt. The key with any of these fundamentals is that they must be practiced over and over until they become second nature. As always, enjoy the ride and stay safe, everyone.